Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance, episode 40 of Guess the Trade, the Big 4-0. But before we jump into those new loadouts, let's talk about episode 39, where we looked at Gusty Oinker. 4 different veto bags that we looked at. He had a TPXL. He also had a TP4B, an SBLD, and then an MP2X with all sorts of great tools inside there. You know, Vera, Knipex, Klein, all sorts of things that we looked at. What was it that he did with those bags? What is it that he is in general? Those were the questions that we kind of talked about as we went through that episode. I'm going to put his answer up here in a big picture so that way you can kind of read it as I'm mentioning it. But he said that his TPXL is his range bag. He says his family owns a range and it always needs maintenance, has things like that. So he uses that bag kind of for his work bag. His TP4B, he said, was his travel bag, that if he goes somewhere and he's going to do some work someplace outside of where he normally would work at, that's kind of the small bag that he grabs. His SBLD, he said that's his Morgan's Fault bag. He basically had some extra tools and also that bag. He calls that his Morgan's Fault bag. And then MP2X, he said he uses that for just general household and DIY. And then his final answer at the very bottom of that was, I'm just basically a prepared Texan. You know, that's what his role is. So he does a lot of different things with those tools. He just loves tools kind of in the same way that I do as well. And he's bought different bags to use at different places, buys extra tools to put in those bags, those kinds of things. As I've mentioned before, if you run multiple bags, you're going to have lots of tools that you're going to have to buy doubles of. But I really appreciate Gusty sending those in. Great pictures, great bags, great tools. So thanks again for that. Today we're going to look at 2 different loadouts. One of them is going to be Casey Donahue. He has a Milwaukee structured backpack. I'm not too sure that we've seen one of those yet, so it'd be interesting to look at that. And then we're also going to look at David Morris, who has a Tech MCT Blackout. One of my favorite bags, if not my favorite bag of all time from Vito as far as the ones I've used. But we're going to look at those, and the first one we're going to look at is Casey Donahue. So let's go ahead and jump into his bag and see if we can guess what it is that he does. So we're going to start on the outside of his bag. Again, this is the Milwaukee Packout Structured Backpack. I don't think we've seen one of these yet, and I think it's on the Buy More, Save More right now. So if you were interested in it, I'm pretty sure it's like $300 and something for this bag, which is pretty expensive. Of course, a Tech Pack from Vito's expensive as well. But, you know, if you go spend $400 on pack-out stuff, you get $150 off. So maybe you could save some money if you need some pack-out as well. If you were interested in this bag, now would probably be a good time to do it. So outside of this bag, he's got 3 Milwaukee Fastbacks. Looks like he's got a blade storage handle there. Also a couple other ones. Milwaukee tape measure on that side. At glance right here, you're going to say definitely a Milwaukee fanboy. But if we look over here in the corner, it looks like he's got a DeWalt charger on the wall as well. So we'll go ahead and look on this side. He's got a Phillips and slotted, made in the USA, it looks like. It is, yes. Milwaukee screwdrivers, also a 25-foot magnetic tape measure. And this side of this bag, again, just looking at the bag itself, because I've only seen these in pictures on Home Depot's website, not in person. Looks like he's got like a meter type pouch on this side. We'll go over to the other side, same thing, Inkzall, orange tape, and then another meter type pouch on this side as well. Here we've got the front side with the flap down. So again, if we go back to that first picture real fast, there's the flap up. Come back to here. Now here's the flap down. Inside of there, looks like he's probably got an insulated set, probably Milwaukee as well. We'll see that maybe in a minute. And then Milwaukee gloves. So it looks like he is running primarily Milwaukee stuff in this bag anyway. So next picture. Here's the front side of that opened up along with the 2 sides. So it looks like on this side he's got some testing equipment, a non-contact voltage tester. Interestingly enough, it's Klein. Then he looks like he's also got a fluke meter. And then this other side over here looks like maybe some kind of a shockwave case. Maybe we'll see that in a minute. Here's the tools inside the bag. Again, he's going to pull these out, so I'm not going to try to figure out what they all are now. But just to give you an idea of the loadout of this bag and the pocket layout and what all you got in it, looks like he's got multiple pliers, multiple screwdrivers. He's also got an M12 of something down there in the bottom that he can fit inside there. So just to give you an idea, I don't see any real big tools, but it does look like you could probably put some big tools where he's got these strippers on the side. Like if you had a pair of 10-inch Cobras or pliers, wrench, or something like that, you could probably put those in there. But there's the layout of that side. We'll go on. Here is the back side opened up. Looks like he's got a full-size laptop down in there, but not only does it have a laptop sleeve, looks like it's got a couple of other things in there as well. So again, maybe we'll see a little bit different look, but just to give you an idea there. Here are the tools that are on that front side. So he did have a long pair of pliers in there because he's got those Milwaukee extended reach needle nose pliers with that new pivoting action that looks really nice. I haven't bought them yet. I've thought about getting them a couple times. I'm interested in y'all's feedback on that. I know that's like Last Best Tools #1 plier so far for the year. It's the top contender. I don't know if he's replaced it with anything else yet, but right before those came out, I bought I think I got some Irwin ones. I got those that I keep in my truck, but they're not exactly like these. They're more that compound action, whereas these seem like they would actually work a little bit better. I just haven't wanted to buy them for the price because I don't run into needing that kind of pliers that often. But I'm interested in any of y'all's feedback if you pick those up, and then also yours as well, Casey. But continuing on, he's also got a pair of small diagonals or flush cutters, whatever you want to call those. Also a couple different pairs of small type pliers as well right there. I'm not sure what the black handles, looks like it says KD up there. Not sure what those are. Also has a couple of the Milwaukee, oh actually that's his name that he's got wrote on there. I've got that now. I thought it was like a brand, but KD's on all these tools, so he's got his name on there. Also has tongue and groove pliers, a couple different ones from Milwaukee. We get over into here. He's got them made in the USA needle nose with the comfort grip, and then also the Milwaukee small strippers. Haven't tried any of those. I haven't seen the comfort grip ones. My Home Depot only carries the dip handled ones. I mean, I've seen them in pictures. I'm talking about I haven't held a pair in my hands, but those are there. He's also got the Milwaukee strippers. A lot of people really like those. Every time I talk about the forged wire strippers being my favorite, usually the next thing in line is, well, the Milwaukee ones work pretty good. And again, I bought a pair of Milwaukee 7-in-1s. I had Milwaukees before I was buying Knipex. I really like them. They haven't never lasted as long as what my Knipex ones have. So even though I spend more money on my Knipex, I've been running the same pair of Knipex forged wire strippers for like 2 years now. The Milwaukee's never lasted that long for me, but of course you can buy several pairs of Milwaukee for the one price of the Knipex. But again, those are really good strippers. He's got those. He's also got a really long Milwaukee extension, some Milwaukee locking pliers over there. Also the Milwaukee made in the USA diagonals. I've wanted to get a pair of them so bad just because I think they look so nice. The head of them looks like a poisonous snake to me. It just looks tough. Also another pair, and again, these are the Milwaukee pliers that I absolutely just do not like at all. The ones with the straight jaw, and I just cannot get a grip at those. Those teeth don't grab a hold of anything for me. He's got the Milwaukee made in the USA lineman pliers, also a tubing cutter, small pair of flush cuts right there, and then let's see if I can see the size, 13 millimeter, I think that is. So 13 millimeter, I want you to pay attention to that because he said he doesn't think anyone's going to guess what it is that he does. He said there's just no possible way, and again, I don't know either. But 13 millimeter, maybe that's going to tell us something. Make sure in the comments below if you know somebody that uses specifically, it's so important to them to carry a 13 millimeter ratcheting wrench, an open-ended wrench. Make sure and have that idea in the comments below. We'll go on to the next picture. Here's this meter pouches and some of the other tools that were in his bag. So he is carrying a Fluke 179. Also, again, it's a Klein non-contact voltage tester. Pick set from Milwaukee. That was a Shockwave bit case over there, so it looks like it's just kind of your normal bits that came in it type thing. It's not one that he built himself to kind of give us a hint maybe at what he does. He just uses a wide range of different types of bits. Also, he does have a Knipex pliers wrench because, of course, Milwaukee doesn't make that, so he's got a Knipex pliers wrench. Does have the Milwaukee adjustable wrench. Again, for the price and the fact that you can get it at a box store, that is a really good adjustable wrench. All those wrenches are good. Let's see if we can see what's inside of this thing here. I'm not real sure what those are. Those aren't ringing a bell to me what that is, those little plastic pieces, but I was thinking that might help us out as well. Maybe some of you know what that is down below. Also, a couple hex keys along with some security Torx keys. Those are the ones that come with my cameras and stuff whenever I install those. Those are the ones that come in the packages with those, but he's also got another Husky Torx Allen key set right there. Multiple different made in the USA Milwaukee screwdrivers. Looks like he probably bought the whole set of them right there. So he's got all those along with a Milwaukee stubby right there, the Phillips #2. Going back out, let's go over to this side. We've got up here at the top, we've got a T15 insulated driver, also a T20 something, probably T25. I can see that it says T with a 2, and then it looks like maybe a 5. So a T25 screwdriver, then also a nut driver right there. Carrying the Milwaukee, what is that called? Just the drill driver. It's the, the screwdriver, I guess it is. Screw gun, maybe that's what the title is for that one. I couldn't think of it, but maybe that's what they call that. Milwaukee light over here, also that tape measure, some safety glasses. One more, we got a couple more. So here's his gloves, the cut level 3s from Milwaukee, also some Milwaukee like demolition gloves. There's his fastbacks. Also, again, that was a Milwaukee insulated blade set right there that he had inside that pack. That comes with some ECX square slotted end Phillips, so not a bad set for U.S. electricians. And then there's this laptop right there. So a question that some people might have, Casey, is what size laptop is that you carry? It looks like a pretty decent size. Like, doesn't look like it's a crazy small one. Just because some people ask that question on even the smaller Vito bags, because they're looking at a bag and they're wanting to know, will whatever laptop, will whatever tablet they use. So people will probably be interested to know what size that laptop is. We'll go on to the next picture. Here is a parts bag with also some blue Monster tape, and that color on the back side is not ringing a bell to me, and maybe he didn't show us the front because that would help us some. I'm trying to see if I read any of that, if I could tell maybe what that is. I'm not real sure what that is there, so I think that's the last one it is. There's his name. So here's a parts bag along with some Teflon tape and something. So some of you may know what that is just by looking at the back of it. If you do, make sure and comment that down below to help us with our guessing. There's his laptop and his stuff that's in the front pouch. There's some of his tools along with the meter that he uses. Again, if you all know what these are, mention that down below in the comments. Also, it's somebody who uses T15 insulated wise. We'll go here. Here's all of his pliers and things like that. Again, 13 millimeter is an important size for him on that. Then here's his bag. So take one good last look at that. There it is, loaded out. Here's the flap down. There's the two sides, and right there is the front. But that's Casey's loadout. Again, comment down below what it is you think he does with those tools. Also, if you've got questions for him, make sure and ask those as well. I'm sure some people are going to have some questions about that Milwaukee backpack. It looks like a pretty nice one. Again, I've not seen one in person, but it looks like a pretty good one. It is fairly expensive. But again, if you've got any questions for him, ask those down below. And then also, if you know someone who uses some of those specific size things, again, it's not that it's a weird size. It's the fact that he's only carrying that size with him. If you know somebody that does something that mainly uses those size things, drop that in the comments below to help us with our guessing. As far as guessing, I do find it hard only because he said, I don't think anybody's ever going to guess it. So that means to me it's some kind of an oddball thing that's going to be hard to guess. And because of that, I'm going to guess, because of the T15 stuff, the tubing cutter, all those things, I'm going to guess some sort of low voltage, whether it's camera installation or something along those lines, even though he's got a lot of tools that really have nothing to do with that. That's going to be my guess. I'm probably completely wrong with that, but I am interested to see what your guys' guesses are, so make sure and guess those down below. But that was our first loadout. The second loadout that we're going to look at is David Morris. Again, he's got a Tech MCT blackout with just a few pictures, but we're going to go ahead and dig into those and see if we can guess what it is that he does. So here's the outside of his bag. Again, a Tech MCT blackout. Really great bag. Again, can't say enough about this bag. There's the outside of his bag. Got a Klein magnetizer, demagnetizer. Over here, he's got a, looks like a tape measure of some sort. And then probably a flashlight over here and some tape. We'll go on to the next picture. Here's the back side. He's got some of those vessel bit holders right there. He's got them clipped onto the D-rings. That's pretty nice setup right there. A couple different step bits. Also a couple, not real sure what those are. They look like maybe bit holders, but I'm not 100% sure. He's also got a bit holder over here as well. Next picture, actually, let me look at this. I don't know if that was like some kind of a weird tape measure with a USB or something on it, but I don't think it is. We'll go to the next picture. So here is his bag. Front side open. Looks like he's got a vessel USB in there. Also, some pliers tucked into the left side. He's going to pull these out in a minute. Irwin chisel, it looks like. A couple hex keys. I still think that looks like it's a fancy tape measure. It's got something on top of it as well, so I'm interested to see if we see what that is here in just a minute. So also it looks like a light up there on the front side, but again, we're going to see these pictures. Klein demo driver back there. We'll go to this picture here. So he's got a Klein headlamp strap, it looks like. Also a Trident case with looks like maybe some Wagos and stuff in there. So there's the tape measure. It's a Prex EZO. I don't know if that's got anything like USB and a screen on the top of it or not. I'm going to go look that up and see. I'm interested to see that. It looked like it has some different features on it over there. Also has the Klein circuit breaker finder. Again, phenomenal tool. If you don't have that as a maintenance person, electrician, whatever you are, that's a good tool to have. And he's got the accessories up there to be able to really use it for anything. Also has a stud finder up there. I'm not sure if that's the C.H. Hansen. I don't know if there's is blue or not. Small tubing cutter. The Klein multi-stubby. Again, the stubbiest of Klein stubbies, I think. Also, he's got some different tools for plumbing. He's got the rigid one, I think it's what's it called, the one stop or something like that. I picked that up based on your suggestions. I was between that and I think it's called the Quick Tide or something like that. I kept seeing the Replumb guy use it's for changing out angle stops and stuff like that. I kept seeing him use that one, and I kept wanting to get that one, but several of you recommended the rigid one stop to me, so that's why I picked it up, and I've had it in my truck, and I've used it a few times. It is a fairly handy tool, so he's got that one. Also, he has a speed out set up there in the corner. Looks like he's got a multimeter. I can't remember. I've seen that brand, I've seen that color, I've seen all those things, but I'm not real sure what that one is. Tough built folding jab saw. Also has the Klein, I'm not real sure, is that the 27? Is that the tamper proof one or whatever, the 27 in one? The bits look a little bit big, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe that's which one that one is. The Klein flip insulated driver. He's also got the splitter right there to split your hot and your neutral. Lots of electrical tools right here. Another non-contact voltage tester. Some different test leads, alligator clips. So multiple electrical tools there. Going to the next picture, this looks like the bulk of his actual hand tools here. So a small Craftsman tape measure. I'm not going to zoom in real far, they get a little blurry. Also Klein demolition driver, a Klein 4-in-1, a Klein, thermometer right there. I'm not sure if that's the magnet. I've got one of those. Mine's not the magnetic. I'm not sure if that one is or not. Small brush. He's also got all the Klein. He's got the pliers wrench that also turns into a pipe wrench type wrench, and then he's got a couple different alligator style tongue and groove pliers as well. Also, he's got the Elkind or Eklund or however you say that, hex keys, some locking pliers there, adjustable wrench. He's also got the Klein pass-through set. Looks like that one's probably the 1/4-inch set with the sockets up there. He's got a 5-in-1 tool from Purdy. A small Craftsman parts box there. We get over to this side, again, more bit holders. Klein 11-in-1. Looks like, yeah, that's the ratcheting one. He's also got the Klein crimper, Klein strippers, diagonals, an Olfa with some knife blades right there. I don't know, yeah, hammer, pry bar. There is that Irwin chisel right there. I've got the Stanley version that's exactly the same. And again, the Vessel USB screwdriver. I can't say enough about that right there. And then here is the Klein pliers, that the black and yellow with the needle nose and the crimper and the strippers. We were just talking about that in a live. Someone was asking me what I thought about that one, and I told them, you know, I've never owned that tool, but I can't tell you how many people I see that use that tool, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's just in general in work sites. Almost every electrician I know has those pliers, and it's made me want to buy them. But I love my forged wire strippers so much that I'm just like, I know I'm probably not going to end up using them, but it makes me want to get them just because of how many people I see have them. So David, let me know what you think about that, or let us all know, because again, I've been getting questions about those along with Klein Journeyman Lyman pliers and stuff like that, if they're worth the money. So I'm interested in your feedback on that pair of pliers right there. So he has those. And then I think that's his last picture. It is. Again, he didn't have a lot of pictures, but again, several really nice tools in there. This is basically his Klein haul for the most part right here, so you can take a look at all those. And then here's a lot more other things that deal with electrical, some of it plumbing as well, those kinds of things. And then again, here is his Tech MCT bag as far as how it was loaded out, and there is the front side. But that's David Morris's loadout and his Tech MCT Blackout. Again, I know what he does, so I'm not going to guess down below on his because we've talked back and forth a few times. But guess down below what it is you think he does. If you got questions for him, I'm interested again in your feedback on those Klein black and yellow handled multipliers there. What's your thoughts about those? But guess what he does. You got questions for him, ask those down below. Also, don't forget to guess about Casey's. I appreciate both of you sending those in. Lots of great tools, lots of great pictures for us to look at and get ideas for loadouts, get ideas on some tools that we might need that we didn't know existed, those kinds of things. I think it's always a good time to go through and look at these loadouts just to get ideas for ourselves. But again, I appreciate you guys sending these in. Hope it was helpful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video.